The Sunday school lesson for November the 23rd, 2025 is Jesus cast out Legion, Mark chapter 5, verses 1 through 20. Welcome, viewers and subscribers, to my channel, The Backstory and More. I am Audrey. If you are new here and you are interested in knowing what happens before each Sunday school lesson, you are at the right place because I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. If you have not already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for all that you do to help this channel grow. A brief backstory. Mark's Gospel was likely written between AD 60 and 62, certainly before Matthew, Luke, or John. With Matthew and Luke, the book of Mark rounds out the synoptic Gospels, so called because of their similar records of Jesus' earthly ministry. Today's text from Mark chapter 5 is one example of the book's shared material, with parallels in Matthew chapter 8, verse 24 through 34, and Luke chapter 8, verses 26 through 39. Differences between the accounts say less about the historical accuracy of the event than about the faith perspective the writer sought to details. A somewhat perplexing characteristic of the Gospel of Mark is also on display in this account. Jesus' tendency throughout the first half of the book to tell people whom Jesus had healed to keep quiet about the matter. This has been called the Messianic secret. Many theories have been proposed for this counterintuitive command to silence. One such is that Jesus did not want the people to become invested in wrong ideas about what it meant for him to be the Messiah. While the people were looking for a political Messiah to deliver them from Roman imperialism, Jesus used the time of secrecy to teach about the larger role of the Messiah beyond Israel and its politics. Jesus also wanted his ministry to be defined as a preaching and teaching ministry more than a healing and miracles ministry. Verses 1 through 3. And they came over unto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains. Verses 4 through 5. Because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken into pieces, neither could any man tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. Verses 6 through 8. But when he saw Jesus afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High? And I adjure thee by God that thou torment me not. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. Verses 9 through 11. And he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. Verses 12 through 13. And all the devils besought him, saying, Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them. And forthwith Jesus gave them leave. And the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine. And the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. They were about 2,000 and were choked in the sea. Verses 14 through 15. And they that fed the swine fled, and told it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what it was that was done. And they come to Jesus and see him that was possessed with the devil and had the legion, sitting and clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. 16 through 18. And they that saw it told them how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the swine. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coasts. And when he was come into the ship, he that had been possessed with the devil prayed him that he might be with him. Verses 19 through 20. Howbeit Jesus suffered him not, but saith unto him, Go home to thy friends, and tell them how great things the Lord hath done for thee, and hath had compassion on thee. And he departed, and began to publish in Decapolis how great things Jesus had done for him, and all men did marvel. A brief summary. Landing on the eastern shore of the Sea of Galilee, the disciples found themselves in primarily a Gentile area. Nearby was an area with cavern tombs. A certain man lived among those tombs. Matthew told of two demon possessed men. Mark likely mentioned only the one best known by his readers. The man identified himself by the name Legion, a reference to a Roman military force of 6,000 men. The word was used for any very large number, indicating that the man was possessed by an unspecified number of demons. With a single command, Jesus drove the impure spirits into a herd of pigs that then charged into the lake. The residents of the area saw the possessed man in his right mind and were afraid. Because of their fear, they begged Jesus to leave. Tragically, their fear kept Jesus from performing other great miracles in their land at the time. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel.